I don't know if you went to college.
Yeah, no, I went to the University of Canada.
Hold on. The what?
I went to the University of Canada.
Is there a is there such a thing? Chin, look
Chin,
that up.
you bring up University of Canada. I'm sure they have a website. They didn't have a website when I was there. It was sort of before Tim Berners-Lee.
It says colleges and universities Canada.
Okay, so here we are. Study in Canada. Top university, cities.
You said University of Canada.
What is the best university? And it says Canada right there.
No.
Study in Canada.
Yeah, but you said you went to the University of Canada.
Yeah, but sometimes they just call it Canada for short.
No, because...
Yeah. Canada. Hey, where'd you go to school? I was at the Canada.
You just get caught in the lie, bro?
No, I went to the University of Canada where I majored in psychology.
Man, I think you got caught in the lie, and you lying.
Dude, I don't lie. That's one of the Canadian traits we learn in the College of Canada. The Canadian College of Canada.
Oh, shit, you're stumbling over your words because your body's all hot.
Everybody down here in the United States of America is always like, oh, you Canadians, you don't know anything.
Man, you're... Ha! Oh, no. Whatever the case, we can get into the details of it, but it's not important. But
what is important is that, as you noticed, as Brian became impassioned about what he was speaking on, he sat like a chimp.
That's right.
A
monk. Don't say I sat like a monk.
No, you're sitting like a chimp.
You don't call me a fucking chimp.
You're sitting like
Unless you're talking about my muscularity.
Who's trying to find a way to suck his own.
Man, you're ruining. You brought this down to the level of you brought this down to the gutter.
A chimp who's sitting on a sloped rock and thinks maybe now I can, and he pulls underneath and he goes to his balls and he's like, if I pull my balls, he doesn't know that they're called balls, and he starts pulling so that his hard chimp dick starts going towards his mouth, but then his finger goes into his shitter, and then he goes, and does it, and then this is just the rest of the
I'm literally talking about something important, and then you have to start talking about sucking.
I agree with you, though, Brian Callen.
That's when we did Tom Green.
Yeah. Thanks for dressing up, Brian and Chris.
Huh? Yeah. Look at me and my hair.
Yeah, dude, that's you.
I wonder why every girl likes me.
It's that's back when you were how old were you there? You were like 51.
Dude, that's not funny or cool.
I'm making a very interesting funny point. And look, I'm sun-kissed. Man, that's me a little bit lighter than I am now.
Don't say you're fucking sun-kissed.
No, oh man, I really feel like I should take off all my clothes right now to prove how good I look naked. My girlfriend will attest to it. Brian, you've seen me naked.
Look at me with my shirt off there.
Where?
All right.
Oh yeah, that's the old Hamfatter One Studios. That's
the Hamfatter
in the bottom of my house. Yeah. And it looks like Chris has a jar of pickles, and he's just eating something.
He does have a jar of pickles.
He's eating, that looks like chocolate cake and a jar of pickles that Chris ate. Chris, chocolate cake and a jar of pickles.
Well, Chris is not into food, you know. Chris is not into food.
Yeah, he is.
No. Chris doesn't eat anything good. He doesn't go to nice restaurants or the difference. No. He eats at I won't say where, but he eats at fucking different diners.
He eats at Vaughn's.
He's a diner guy.
Well, that's where you get a mustard sandwich with a side of turkey.
That's right.
Which is what he eats.
He's
a mustard sandwich with a side of turkey.
Weirdo.
Brian sends me and Chris D'Elia and Marshall Cook pictures of his penis. We've seen that.
Yep.
I've seen pictures. Actually, one of the funniest things you've done on text. One of the more daring video. Can I? I don't know.
Yeah,
if I
you can say anything you want.
Of course I can. It's Brian. One day, Brian sends a text. Chris and our other pal Marshall Cook, and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm in Minnesota, probably where you're doing because you're always in Minnesota. No, it's a wonderful place.
Say Brea because that's where I'll be this weekend.
I'm in Brea. I'm in a hotel room in Brea, which I wouldn't be in a hotel room because I live nearby. So your suggestion doesn't work.
Right.
He was in a hotel room, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm on the road and and I just wanted to tell you, oh geez, guys, there's a rat in here. There's a rat." And it's like a selfie video and it's shaking around. He's like, "I got it. Okay, I got it. And like I was really like, what? Where is this going? And he's like, I got it. Yeah, see, I got you a little. And then he takes the camera and he pans down and he has his bits,
squeezed hard, huh?
Twisted around your fingers and knuckles. Yeah. He just grabbed a handful of himself, both thing, all of the stuff, and he had it wrapped up and twisted red. Yeah. He's like, I gotcha. Just a fleshy pink to red handful. Yep. And that was very funny, Brian.
I was having lunch across the street. I was watching some gay dude sat down at the bar next to me. Yeah. And then the guy with the toupee, the worst toupee you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's a very strange thing.
It's 2019.
He's a very nice person. He's such a nice guy.
So nice.
And such a good looking guy.
And like he's young. Aware. And he's aware of life.
I'm not so sure.
You think he would
very aware. Very aware.
You think it's a comb over?
I can't fucking figure it out.
Terrible. There's no way you went to a wig store and bought that.
Yeah.
And then put it on and was like, yeah, let's roll with this. You can have any hairstyle.
Yeah, I'm. It's one of the more incredible things I've ever seen.
You should ask him about it.
Yeah, you said you go look, and I go, oh, that's the most. It might be the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
It's the most insane hairpiece you've ever seen.
Like Avatar was amazing when it came out. When I saw it in 3D, when I saw Avatar in 3D, I was like, this is amazing. And his hair is the same.
It's hard. Right when you see him, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I'm always amazed that people do that.
You almost got to take a picture of him.
Right.
It looks very Trump-ish.
Now, Joaquin fasted for that role.
Did he fast for months?
Well, he fasted for, I believe, 3 months.
Hey, how fucked up am I? When you see his body, and he obviously has a horrible eating disorder, I go, God, he looks good. My girl goes, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Because you so want to be a starving, skinny actor. You want to be a bird.
I couldn't do it. I would die.
No, you could never do it. You're too big. You fasted for 72 hours.
Well, that was the plan. Because I was working out, and then this Jocko video popped up, right? It's just like things suggested, and who I loved, shout out to Jocko. And a video popped up, and he's talking about fasting. He's like, someone asked him a question on his podcast, and he's talking about fasting. He goes, I did 72 hours. It's not a big deal. After the first freaking few hours, I drank some water. Then you realize how dependent you are on food, and it resets your system. And he's like, everyone makes a big deal about it. It's not a big deal. And I thought, it's not a big deal. I went, I'm going to do that. It's not a big deal at all. That's fucking easy. I'm going to do it. So I sent a picture to you and Chris and went, look who just started a 72-hour fast. Chris just goes, but let's not do that. Let's fucking eat. Yeah. I lasted till about 8 p.m. that night.
Yeah.
Big man got hungry.
Yeah, you got
real hungry.
Got a little faint.
Well, the problem is I'm running around with my kid all day. And I was like, oh, I'm dizzy.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to fast, you should do a little lemon juice with some honey.
You can't have honey.
Can you do
coffee?
Maple syrup and water?
Oh, no. You're talking about sugars, bro. You can't do any of that.
Can you do coffee with a little cream?
Nope. Black coffee. You do black coffee and water.
Not enough.
Now, some people just do 72 hours fast with just water.
He's a handsome guy there. We're like, look at the shoulders.
Could he be like, if you're making if you're making a comic book and you drew a Marine
I'd go like this. I'd be like,
dude, come on, it's too on the nose.
Nobody's that, it's
on the nose.
Nobody's that big and thick.
The Metal Gear Solid guy, what are you doing? That's fucking, give him an eye patch, Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, he's
Gears of War, what are we doing?
It's one of those guys.
You ever listen to his podcast or anything?
Look at his face.
You ever listen to his podcast?
No.
He's so tough. He's just so tough.
Yeah,
everything.
I know.
And like the questions, like, what are you talking about? You're like, oh God.
Always looks like he's in just a bad mood. Look at his eyes.
But he's super friendly. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, right?
I'm sure. I'm
super
sure he. Look at him.
Legit black belt.
Like really good.
Legit black. Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have no doubt. I watched a documentary Woodstock. And one of the things I noticed,
that was fun.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed was that was 1969. And one of the things I noticed was literally, no one is fat.
No one's fat. A lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs, but literally back then, there was no obesity problem in America. There was none. What happened?
Processed food.
Yeah, processed food, sugar.
Processed food.
Mostly sugar, I guess.
And then also like the Food Administration and their agendas and the food. Remember the pie charts that every school had? Mm-hmm. Carbs #1 and and sugars and breads.
So people just ate sensibly. There wasn't, I guess.
But it was all propaganda. Like it was all a push towards wheat. And
there wasn't a whole lot of.
But you look at Woodstock. Yeah, you're right. And everyone was a fucking bee. Everyone was a fucking dude.
Everybody was a fucking.
Those were the now
why pre-AIDS, post-pill? You just took a fucking. If you got syphilis, you just took an injection.
There's nothing like Woodstock, is there?
No.
God, man.
That was when times were their parents had been in World War II, It was still a fresh memory. Vietnam was raging.
The drug scene was just popping. Music
there was still a draft.
Music was popping.
Yep.
People were fighting for their independence, their freedom.
Yeah.
Kids wanted a voice.
Yeah.
And the music was doing it.
I mean, and rock and roll.
Was cool.
Rock and roll was new.
Drugs. You got Rolling Stones popping.
You got Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones, Janis Joplin, Mamas and Papas. You got a rock and roll renaissance.
The hippie culture was starting to form in Haight-Ashbury.
Rock and roll renaissance.
What's funny is, you know,
and the Beatles were going strong.
I was going to say, so you remember what's interesting about this? The Beatles, they heard about the hippie movement going on in Haight-Ashbury. They flew over there, got out of their tour bus, looked around, experienced for a little bit, went, this is no movement. This is just a bunch of young kids on drugs.
Yeah.
This ain't a movement.
Right.
Got back on the plane and bounced.
I bet. There was also a time when psychedelics were big.
Oof. That's living, brother.
LSD,
I've never done them, but that's
mushrooms,
living.
LSD.
Dude, The Doors, Jim Morrison,
my God.
Venice.
When you see my back ripple and I pull myself up like a chimp 30 times bang, while talking to you, why wouldn't I give that to you as inspiration?
It's a gift, really.
It's a gift.